Hello, thank you for joining me. My name is Lisa Blackwell. My pronouns are she, her, and I am the 2023 president for the Texas chapter of Sophie. All right, and I am really excited that you're interested in running for the board. I'd like to give you a little overview about who Sophie is. We are a regional affiliate of the National Society for Public Health Education. We were established in 1973. And our mission is to advocate for the profession and provide stewardship for the discipline of public health education. These are our 2023 board members. We were very lucky to have a full board and a great board. However, we do have a bunch of positions that have come to an end. So you'll see we have the president-elect, secretary, treasurer, 2 general board members, graduate board member, and undergraduate board member positions available. Oh, and then the people that are still there will help orient you. So for our elections, we hold the elections for board positions every year. The applications to nominate someone are online now and will be open until December 8th. They will close at 5 p.m. So make sure to mark your calendar. Don't forget if you are planning on nominating yourself or someone else. And the application is very easy. If you're nominating someone else, just make sure you have their application in advance. And otherwise, you just need their email and to write a quick description of why you're nominating them. And of course, make sure they have that they know that you're nominating them. Nobody wants to be surprised with that. Our 4 board members are staggered so that there are 2 board members that will be returning from the prior year. That way we're not all new at the same time. And this year we're seeking our nominations for the president-elect, secretary, treasurer, 2 board members, and graduate and undergraduate board members. This is just a little bit of the structure of the tsopheboard board with the general responsibilities. The president is the main person that's responsible for the decisions and delegating. They are assisted by the president the past president and the president-elect. Then the national delegate is mainly responsible to attend the national Sophie meetings, which are virtual as well, but they may also attend things in person, such as the conferences or the advocacy summit, and then report back to the rest of the board and keep us abreast on all the changes. And I know National Sophie has had a lot of changes. We just got a new CEO, so there's there's exciting stuff going on. The treasurer is responsible for finances. The secretary sends out the agendas and keeps the minutes. And then the board members, of course, attend the board meetings and serve on committees. This is a more in-depth dive into each of them. General board members serve for 2 years, and there are 4 of them. As I mentioned, their terms overlap. Each of them will serve on 1 or more committees and help the president determine the directions that the chapter is going. the policies and plans that the chapter will implement, and then explore with the members the interests and needs of college students. It says college students, but it really should be college and graduate, really any upcoming professionals. They are responsible to participate regularly in our monthly chapter board meetings. These occur via Zoom, so you don't have to be in person. And then on rare occasions, the chapter will also, or the board will also meet for situations that arise. This hasn't happened in my tenure, but it could. So to be aware. The graduate and undergraduate board members do the same. However, they serve a one-year term due to a lot of changes that happen when you're a student. So it's shorter term. The secretary, as I mentioned, will send out the agenda for the board meetings, take the minutes, and then email that to the board at the end of each meeting. In the case that there is not quorum, the secretary is responsible for contacting the board members that were missing and getting their vote. And then we use Dropbox to maintain all these minutes. And it has been really helpful to be able to go back and look and see what was discussed previously. So this is actually a very important role. In rare cases, the secretary might send out chapter correspondence as well. And then at the end of the year, they will welcome the new secretary. And this is just a one-year term. So this is probably also one that's very easy to do if you're looking to get involved, but don't know where you'll be in 2 years. Treasurer is a 2-year term. They set up, sorry, our bank accounts are set up, but they maintain the bank accounts and the financial records. They produce a report every year that every month the president signs, and then that's reported out at the board meetings. When membership applications come in, they will send it to the membership chair. This position last year was held by Shelby Flores Thorpe, and she was also the membership chair, so that made that really easy. And then the last thing is filing taxes in April. And of course, we will assist you with that. You will not be on your own. At the end of every year, the treasurer will help get the new treasurer and the new president-elect on the bank account, which we have really figured out this year. So it's not too much of a slog anymore. Okay, and then the big position is president-elect. This is just a one-year term. However, because you then go on to be president and then past president, it is a 3-year commitment. So the president-elect serves as a member of the chapter board, and they are working as the soon-to-be president to become familiar with the role for 2025. They also serve on the program planning committee as the chair. And in 2024, that will be primarily coordinating workshops for continuing education, such as webinars primarily. In case the president cannot preside over a meeting, they will serve in their absence, and then they will take over as president at the beginning of 2025. The president-elect is one of the few board members that must be a Sophie member. And the reason for that is because you will actually log into your My Sophie account to do a lot of the things like pay the chapter dues, submit continuing education. It makes it a lot easier if both the national delegate and the president are SOPHE members. And then the president-elect serves as the chapter representative to Texas Public Health Association's program committee. And in the case that something happens with the president, they will immediately become the next president. And then they will welcome the new president-elect. This is really good, sort of a president job, but at the beginning, at kind of the tail end of being president-elect, beginning of being president, you will review the bylaws and suggest changes for the next board. Right, and I did mention every board member serves on a committee. These are committees that general members can serve on as well. We have our membership meeting that focuses on recruiting new members and like kind of tracking how membership is doing, program planning, plans webinars and continuing education activities. And honestly, if you're serving on the board and there's some other kind of activity that you want to plan, welcome to do so. In 2025, that will include planning the conference, but there's no conference for 2024, so this will mostly be virtual events. Professional preparation is helping students become professionals and seeing what is needed there. One of the things that we work on that we have every year is the pipeline project, which helps college students become public health professionals, and specifically focused on Latino students. So, so that's something that will be in the purview of that committee. Another thing might be teaching people about CHESS certification or any other kind of opportunities like that for professionals. The communications committee puts together the newsletter and social media. Continuing education is responsible for submitting all of the continuing education forms to SOPHE or InCheck so that everybody gets their credits at the end of the webinars. And that's all pretty laid out. The forms are all in the folder already, so not too complex. Advocacy focuses on policy things that affect the public health arena. Then the awards, if you attended the conference this year, you saw that we gave out 2 awards. So the award committee was responsible for gathering nominations and choosing the award winners. And audit goes through all the receipts and make sure everything is copacetic on our budget and bills. Just, helps us hopefully identify anything that's not correct on the budget, so that we can fix that. And then nominating committee puts together stuff like this, the forms and the ballots, and then gathers everything and announces the new board members every year. So I have put together a few frequently asked questions. First of all, every TSOPHE chapter member is entitled to 1 vote, and the winner, it just has to be a simple majority of those voting, and then the results will be announced in the winter newsletter, hopefully January, which will then be followed by a board retreat, which could be either in person or virtual or hybrid like it was last year. You can run for more than 1 position. However, you can only serve in one position unless there are extenuating circumstances. But if you win two, you will be asked to choose which one you want. So feel free to submit yourself for more than one. In the case of a tie, a runoff will be held for 1 week, and then whoever has a majority at that point will be the winner. If it's still a tie, the president-elect will cast the tie-breaking vote. The general requirements for all the positions are just to be a Texas SOFI member. So you do need to make sure you're current before you run, so that you can vote for yourself. And just keep your membership current while you're serving. And then if you work in public health, or you volunteer in public health, or you're studying it and you're about to work in public health, or you're retired and you used to work in public health, all those situations make you eligible. You don't have to have any particular degree. It just needs, you need to be interested in the area, in the field. Board meetings are held virtually. This year they've all been on Zoom. I assume that will probably be the case next year, but who knows? There might be the next Skype that comes out next year. But anyway, currently they're on Zoom. The board meetings are held at a date and time that we all vote on. We always vote every new semester because everyone's schedule changes a lot. If you need to miss a board meeting, you can arrange a proxy and just send your updates to someone so that we know what's happening with the committees, or say you're the treasurer, just want to know like what's going on with the finances. You can send that in advance. There are 12 meetings because we meet every month, so board members should not miss more than 2 meetings. Quorum is extremely important because we do vote a lot at the board meetings. And then you do not have to be a national SOFI member unless you are running as president-elect or national delegate. For the other positions, we do, of course, encourage it if that is financially feasible for you. All right, and then after all this, hopefully you are ready to submit your nomination. The nomination process is very simple. It is a quick form where you put your name, the name of the person you're nominating, contact information. If you're nominating someone else, please do have their resume on hand because you'll need to attach that. And then just explain why you're nominating them or why you're interested in running. So this up here, I have the link. And if you're wanting to do this later and you don't want to, have to go searching for this PowerPoint again, you can go to texassofi.org, and on the main page, if you just scroll down to upcoming events, you'll see submit board nominations, and you can cut and paste the form from right there on the bottom. But otherwise, it's tinyurl tsopheboard. All right, and I have to give a shout out to our social medias, because our communications team does an excellent job putting everything together. I particularly like the LinkedIn account, where we also post a lot of job positions and continuing education opportunities. And if you don't get our newsletter, please log on to our website and sign up for it, because there's always a lot of great stuff there. And if you have questions, please email us anytime. There are a few of us that answer it, that, check it and respond. Don't get frustrated. It might take us a couple days, but you'll usually hear something back within 2 or 3 days. And if you don't hear an answer back right away, just don't be shy to say, hey, just checking in. All right. And if you have more questions, please, I'm just going to put my email back here. Please email us at texassophie@gmail.com. And I will be very on top of checking the email because I know there are a lot of questions. And if you have any issues with the form, please let us know that. Or you're confused about any of the questions, anything, just reach out to us. And we are really excited that you're interested in serving on the board. So thank you. Welcome. And thank you for being here.